front of you right now. So now what? Are you going to take accountability and create a new life, or keep complaining about how your current life is not fair? Let me tell you a quick story about friend of the channel, Alex Sayan, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. Alex was a student at TDS for a number of years and badly wanted to be a helper. Helpers are advanced students who then help volunteer their time to help out the other students. He was rejected. He was rejected over and over and over again that he was not good enough to be a helper. Finally, he got accepted to be a helper. His next step was he wanted to be assistant, then he wanted to be an instructor, and over and over and over again. While people were getting promoted and given opportunities, Alex just didn't have the material. Alex kept getting said, no, you're not ready, you have to fix this, you gotta fix that, you're not good enough yet. Keep going home, keep working on it. Eventually he got to the point where Sharon, who was the original owner of the studio, said, okay Alex, I'm gonna train you to be an instructor. Years after where most people would have been given the opportunity, Alex finally earned his way in. It's easy for him to have said, hey, it's not fair. Why are other people getting opportunities ahead of me? Hey, it's not fair on me. But he kept going. He kept working. He kept grinding. Then disaster struck. Finally, he got that opportunity, right, to be trained to be an instructor. And then Sharon, the lead instructor, hurt her back and couldn't train with him. So she asked me to come in and help teach the class. There's a problem though. You can't have two guys at the front of a class. I couldn't dance with Alex. That's not traditionally how classes are run. So Alex was defeated. Finally, he had worked so hard to get this opportunity, and then he realized, I'm gonna have to go back to just being on the sidelines because Evan's gonna come in and teach the class. Now, I didn't think Alex was ready. I had known him for a number of years. I didn't think he was responsible enough. I didn't think he had what it took. But because Sharon had made a deal with him, I decided I would honor that deal. And on the day that he came to pick me up to go to the studio, I said, Alex, we got two options. The class is happening tonight. Either I could run the class and do it and you can sit on the sidelines and watch, or you can run the class and I'll sit on the sidelines and I will guide and mentor you. You get the pick, but you have to decide right now because we're driving the class and we're going to be there in 15 minutes. What do you want to do? And to my, not just surprise, but also admiration, he said, I want to do it. He wasn't quite ready to take on the whole class, but he said, I'm going to do it. And he went up and he did it. Was it amazing? No, but it was momentum. And he kept going. And now, fast forward to today, if you gave me a brand new salsa student and said, this person has to learn salsa and I wanted to have a fun time doing it, I would put money on Alex over anybody in the world to give them the best possible experience. I would. From a guy who I didn't believe would be a good instructor to now being the best in the world. How? Well, he had to overcome all of these things that weren't fair. He had to overcome growing up having super sweaty hands and not being able to touch a girl, so he never learned to dance until he became an adult. He had to overcome years of people passing him by, getting opportunities ahead of him because he wasn't good enough. He had to overcome waiting to get his chance to be trained to be an instructor. And then finally, here it is, it all happens. And it looks like the whole thing is gonna get ripped away from him because the woman who was training him couldn't teach anymore. And then he had one shot. And that's all it takes. You will get your one shot. You will get your one shot. If you keep going, you will get your one shot. If you take accountability, you will get your one shot. What do you do when you get your one shot, but you feel like you're not ready yet? Because that's the pivotal moment where you can decide, I'm going to fall back to the life that I had, or I'm going to step forward into a brave new world that I don't know how it exists yet. And I'm scared, and I'm not ready, but I'm going to take it. But if Alex told himself, it's not fair that all these things have happened to me, he would never got his one shot. It wouldn't happen. And so I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can make Alex's story your story. That you can make every success story, every person you look up to, their success story can be your story using this 3-step process. Here we go. Step number 1, get clear on what you want. What do you want? Make it super clear. You can't just want a better life. What does that look like? Get super clear on what it is that you are going after. Write it down. 1 sentence. Make it clear for yourself. Make it clear for the people around you. Make it clear for anybody who comes in contact with you. Say, hey, what do you want? This is what I want. I have absolute focus. And when people look at you and say, You're never gonna do that. Look at where you're coming from. That's okay, because you have direct